All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the recap. Michael D'Angelo, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Big D, Daryl Ortiz, coming off of Saturday night's main event. Not the one with John Cena doing his last match. That's the next one in December.
Yeah.
Saturday night's main event, though, 4 matches, Big D. That's all we got. And then it was just on Peacock. I don't believe it was not on NBC. College
No, it was
football is
on
on
NBC.
NBC. So that was a little bit of a bummer because that's, for me, the whole appeal of Saturday night's main event is you're getting more of a mainstream audience. How many of those folks actually tuned
the
in?
nostalgia of watching it on cable television, or network television,
network
I should say,
television.
Not cable, network, network.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was interesting. And you know what? I did appreciate is that all 4 matches were title matches.
Yeah, so that was neat. That was cool because everything felt like it was a big deal.
Yeah,
and it was. And kicking things off like straightaways, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre was the opening bout.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this one, Big D? Obviously, Cody Rhodes retained, but
I feel like so I feel we're, and I know people are probably sick of me saying this, but I feel like a heel Cody is inevitable, right? But
it better be. It better be after what happened.
I'm pretty sure. But especially the way he won, right? Like he essentially used the title. Michael Cole's trying to spin it as inadvertently. I mean, let's be honest, he knew it was in there. If he was a true champion, he would just kick the title out of the ring and, not risked it, right? But the fact that Drew had to put that implication of, no champion's advantage and all that good stuff because, Cody's been a little sneaky lately, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's tying into it a lot. I mean, Cody's attire was a little more red than it was blue. Again, just little tiny things that I noticed. It's a little change in his attire, meaning there's a slight change in his character, which I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a little more aggressive. Cody was. He was. Drew. It was a good match. It was a nice match to start off. The crowd was hot. They were loving it. It was good. But yeah, I think the way he won is just kind of leave room there for speculation.
Yeah. Well, you and I have been talking about this like all last week. In the weeks prior, we've talked about, are we going to see Homelander, Cody Rhodes?
Mm-hmm.
They continue to heavily tease it. We had mentioned last week kind of both feeling maybe he's the one who attacked Jacob Fatu. And then on SmackDown, you had Nick Aldis go, hey, just want to ask, did you have anything to do with it? And he's like, nope. And he's like, good enough for me. And it was such a casual thing where I was like, all right, well, that still doesn't say anything. And then you had Cody do a few things in this match. He had there was a moment where the referee tried to pull him off because he was stomping Drew in the corner, and then it went past the 5 count, and the referee pulled him off, and he shoved the referee, which is a very heel thing to do. And then you had him kind of faking the injury when he was at one point because he's like, oh, he hobbled himself trying to get away from the referee, and then all of a sudden he was fine. Then you had him use the title, which they really desperately did try to make it look inadvertent. Because you had Drew was holding the title, and then Cody kind of DDT'd him, and the title ended up under his head. So you could kind of make the case, but at the same time, Cody looked backwards so he could see what he was doing. He glanced for a second. Then afterwards, he made sure he got rid of the title so the ref didn't see it when he got back up. So I'm like, you were very, very careful about that. You wanted to make sure the ref didn't see it happen. Then you wanted to ditch the title. Then hit the Crossroads for the win. And then he had this kind of like little sly, sadistic smile after winning. And I'm like, okay, there's too many things now. You've hinted it too much. You've got Michael Cole running interference the whole time, which I hate it when he does that. When someone's clearly doing heel stuff going, well, I mean, it was probably inadvertent. And, regardless, he won. And it was like, no, but you would be screaming your head off if Drew McIntyre did this. But now you're trying to be like, well, regardless, Cody Rhodes is the champ and he retained. Bottom line is Cody cheated again. Cody should have been DQ'd. If they don't do a heel turn, and I'm kind of halfway believing now because they abandon storylines all the time. If they don't do a heel turn, I'm going to be like, what the heck, guys? Like, this is ridiculous. But kind of I don't think either of us expected Drew to win here. I wanted Drew to win, but I was he's not going to.
It would have been nice to see Drew win this one, but we knew it wasn't going to happen. But at the same time, I think I've said it before. I would like to see Cody turn heel while holding the title because it's that desperation of holding on to the title, right? So I'd rather see that than him lose it and then spiral, because that to me, it's been overdone. I think just let him turn heel as a champion. So
you're right. I think
I
that
would
would be
prefer
better. So
that.
as long as they see this through, if they see it through, it'll be cool. If they just all of a sudden it's like The Rock coming out and holding up 3 and then nothing happened.
Like, well, everyone speculated with the whole vignettes that were dropping, and it was just turned out to be
it was just a WrestleMania promo. I know. I was like, oh, okay, come on. Like enough fake outs, guys. But you know what? There was no fake out on. We got ourselves a new WWE Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. Looking
quickest match of the night, by the way.
Quickest match, man. I really enjoyed this one. So they tried, of course, to do the whole. Tiffany Stratton had the knee injury, but she's still a fighting champion. She's going to come out. She's not going to make excuses. I like the fact though that this was pretty much a squash match, in the sense that if it had been competitive with Tiffany with the knee injury, that wouldn't have made a lot of sense. It would have made Jade look weak. It's like, she's commendable, but why are you going to go out there against Jade, who's just this monster and this phenomenal athlete and this powerhouse? And Jade just kind of ran through Tiffany. She had a little rally moment. Tiffany Stratton did at one point, but Jade hitting a choke slam. She hit her with 3 fall-away slams in a row. She hit a sit-out power bomb, followed by 2 more power bombs, then followed by the Jaded. Just ran through her and demolished her.
I think this is what Jade needed. I loved it too. I think Jade needed this because, like you said, if they would have let Tiffany Stratton hold her own as an injured champion, then it would have kind of like tarnished the win a little bit, I feel, for Jade. And I think that Jade needed this win mainly because it elevates her, right? It shows that she is this monster heel, that she is powerful, she is strong, and Tiffany got overzealous. She was like, you know what? I got it. I'll still handle it. I can still do it. Because she, in her inner thoughts, thought to herself, I can still handle her. And she paid the price because Jade made her suffer. Jade ran roughshod through her and then took her title. So
you got to bring your A game. You got to bring your A game against Jade Cargill the whole time. And I thought it was brilliantly done. I really enjoyed it.
It was a quick match, but it felt good. It was nice.
It was nice, and people online are saying, "Oh, they buried her." I was like, "That's not burying Tiffany Stratton at all."
No,
she clearly has an injury. You clearly aren't going to be competitive against.
And they sold it in commentary.
Monster. Yeah. So I thought it was really well done. So congratulations, Jade Cargill. It's definitely the time for her to run with this. She's paid her dues. She's kind of worked through some of the early goings where she was struggling, but teaming with Bianca Belair and really honing her craft. So congratulations, Jade. And shout out on SmackDown. She walked out with the Punisher gear on during the walkout. And then when she came down to the ring to confront Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown, she was wearing the Catwoman outfit. Jade's style is just perfect. Everything that she's doing right now is just great. So loved it, Big D.
Hell, I remember in AEW when she came out as She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She always does great outfits. Yeah.
And it's funny too, somebody pointed out Tony Khan must be kicking himself because look at the champions now. You've got CM Punk, who came over from AEW. Cody Rhodes came over from AEW. Jade Cargill came over from AEW. Ricky Starks, I believe, is now the NXT champion.
He is.
So it's man, these are all, yes, some former WWE guys, but went to AEW and then came back. So yeah, got a good AEW roster of people holding titles. But not in the next match, Big D, that triple threat for the IC title.
No, you had, of course, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Rusev, former AEW Miro, but came back. Yeah. Triple threat, like I said, it would happen. I was like, it was kind of telegraphed. But, you know what? I was happy with this match. I was bummed out that Penta didn't win. Obviously, I'm a huge Penta fan. But I think I've always said I'd rather him go team up with his brother and bring out the Lucha Bros. I'm more into that. But this was actually a really fun match to watch. You had a lot of back and forth between Penta and Rusev kind of getting in each other's way, so to speak, while Dom kept kind of getting out of the way. The brilliance of it came at the end when Rusev did hit the accolade. And you heard the bell ring, but the ref didn't call for the bell. All of us were shocked. We were like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, it was Dom. And Dom's over there at the timekeeper's laughing, ringing the bell.
That was great because I was sitting there watching it with my daughter, and I looked away because she was talking about something, and I heard the bell ring, and I looked, and I was like, what, Rusev won by submission? How did I miss? I'm going to have to rewind it. And then I just kept watching, and then it's Dom ringing the bell, and I was like, oh, I still rewound it so I could get the whole effect. But it caught me off guard and by surprise, so that was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, Dom holding on to the ring bell hammer and gets thrown in. Rusev gets mad, obviously wants to go beat him up, but then drops it. Penta ends up missing Dom and hitting Rusev in the head with it. Dom throws Penta out and gets the frog splash for the win.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind Dom winning in this fashion because
no, not at
you
all.
think about like people like Dom is a great wrestler, I feel. Now, if you say, "Oh, Dom's going to beat Rusev," it's like, is he? Because Rusev's so powerful, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, on paper, right? But at the end of the day, though, like the way he's getting through with these tactics, and he's so over with the crowd. There's no way he's going to drop that title. He's gonna have a long reigning championship. I feel with both titles because he's over in Mexico también. Like he's over there, and they're he's their champion. And it's funny because they turned Vikingo, Hijo de Vikingo, heel because Dom was just so over, and Dom's the heel, right? But it's just I don't know. I like everything they're doing with Dom. This was a good match. This was a good palate cleanser
it was
to kind of get you prepared because you had the main event coming up. But it was nicely paced.
Yeah, this was a ton of fun. I really liked it. That whole bit with the bell ringing was great. Again, totally brilliant. I like the fact that Dom is stringing together a lot of wins, and it's kind of building some legitimacy for his title run, which I think they should do. I would much rather see him continue to win with varying shenanigans where they get more creative with it, because I just enjoyed that. I enjoyed it when Eddie Guerrero would do things like this. This is obviously kind of paying homage to the lie, cheat, steal thing. So this was a lot of fun. This was good. This was the right thing to do. Like you said, it'd be cool to see Penta win a singles title, but for me, I would rather have him back with the Lucha Bros doing their thing. I really would at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And my favorite, I forgot my favorite moment of the night was when he tried to do an Eddie Guerrero stunt with the chair, threw it at Rusev and told the ref that he got hit, and the ref's like, "Dude, there's no DQ," and Rusev's like holding the chair and just wails on him with it. I'm like,
and he wails on him. I forgot about that too. I wrote it down on the notes. I just forgot to mention it. But yeah, this one was just a ton of fun. It was a good palate cleanser. My match of the night was the match I enjoyed the most was Tiffany and Jade Cargill. It was my match of the night. This was a close second just from a entertainment standpoint. But then we got to the main event, which you probably enjoyed the main event more than I did. Maybe not. CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, World Heavyweight
Championship. Yeah. Now, as expected, spoiler alert, CM Punk obviously won the title. I think nobody's really surprised by that.
No.
This just felt like with everything that came before it for me, and I'm just going to speak for myself here. Everything that came before it, it was kind of slow moving, a lot of headlocks, tie-ups, snapmares, elbow drops. It felt like the first 2/3 of the match was just rest spots, which I get it. CM Punk, Jey Uso, who I've always kind of criticized as I don't think he's the best in-ring worker. So it's not like Jey was really going to carry him through this whole thing doing great spots. So we kind of got what we got. You had the chops. It was more of a methodical, slower moving match. Not in the way that like when Gunther does it, there's this kind of brutal style to it. It was just like, oh, this is okay. And then the end just turned into spamming each other's finishers and spamming finishers over and over until Punk, hit a couple of go to sleeps and got the win kind of after absorbing a couple of super kicks. And it was okay. Like for me, I was just like, oh, that's it. And oh, Punk won. And it, at least for me, just felt a little anticlimactic and wasn't really the highlight of the night. I thought everything else that came before it was better. But CM Punk's your world champion. Big D, you may have felt a little bit better about this than I did, but I was just like, it's okay.
Well,
it's just fine.
I mean, so I feel like what happened here is they cut time from the Tiffy and Jade match to give them more time for the main event when they probably shouldn't have. They probably should have let one of the matches run a little bit longer. Maybe all of them run just a little bit longer each, because I feel like they gave them a little too much time.
They gave them like half an hour, and they spent a lot of. Obviously, you had the entrance with Jey is going to take like 10 minutes. So, but I agree, because when I was watching it, I was like, there's still like 30 minutes left, and they're getting started on this. And they spent a little bit too. I think if the pacing had been higher and they had been a little bit of higher energy in a shorter match, maybe I would have enjoyed it a little more. I don't know.
I feel like they booked themselves in a corner there in the sense that they gave them too much time, and they gave them too much time in a in a show where the other matches were a lot faster paced. Yeah. And so and this wasn't because they work slow. They always, the CM Punk Jey Uso matches are a little bit more slow burning. And after you had like fast, and then now you got to slow down. It kind of like dulled the crowd a little bit, because it's just the way they work, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel. CM Punk is the winner. Obviously, I think that's a good choice. I don't see Jey retain. I don't see Jey getting a second run yet, because he has his own storyline going on with his own family. So there's still the whole with Jimmy and Roman, what's going to happen there. But I don't think it was his time yet to get another title run. I think they still had some things to work on. But CM Punk was a logical choice. I just don't. It just dragged. Honestly, like, it just dragged. When it finished, I was like, "Oh dang, it's over!" Like,
yeah, it was fine. Like, and I know people are, "Oh, that match was great." I'm like, "No, just spamming a bunch of finishers at the end doesn't make it great."
It's because of the near falls, the excitement of the near falls, and the finishes. I get it. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that there's fine. That there's a bunch of finishers being hit, but
this was not a 5-star match by any stretch. It was okay. It was just all right. And again, I think comparing it to everything else that came before it, it's like, oh, this it felt a little flat. And as you know, I've never been the biggest CM Punk fan, so it wasn't like super excited about seeing him be the champion again. Although this was obviously the right choice here, it kind of was what it was. But yeah, that was how it wrapped up. One other note here is they did the big announcement for John Cena's final match. They're going to have a tournament now starting on, I don't think it's starting on this Raw. I think it's starting next week's Raw. It's not tomorrow.
The one where he's in Baltimore
or in Boston, right?
Boston. Sorry, Boston.
Yeah, it's kicking off in his hometown, so it's in Boston, because he's from West Newbury, Massachusetts. So it's like kicking off near hometown.
That's like his hometown.
Yeah. So I will say this: the John Cena retirement tour feels like it absolutely started off with a bang, is now ending with a whimper. It's completely fallen off at the end, where they didn't even hype up the AJ Styles match. He didn't do any promotion for it, and that was a great match, and that probably should have been his last match. And now you're going to do a tournament to determine who is the person that's going to face him. I hope Gunther's in that tournament, or it's not going to happen, because they had been teasing about Gunther being his final opponent. So, but that's it. John Cena's got one match left, and they're basically going to have people vying to be that last person. And it almost understates the importance of Survivor Series, because that's going to happen at Saturday night's main event. So you're setting up this whole tournament to run over the next several weeks before we get to that, to be a focal point for the December Saturday night main event, which is going to be John Cena's. So it just feels odd that Survivor Series this year, which was back, originally those were like the big 4 pay-per-views, was what? SummerSlam, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. Survivor Series feels like it's just kind of flying under the radar for some reason now.
It's been for a while, yeah.
Yeah, and that they pushed it more to the War Games thing. It does feel to me like what happened with Seth Rollins and the Vision falling apart, that scrapped their Survivor Series plans. So now we're kind of getting this B level, at least in their eyes. Let's go to Plan B, and Plan B is going to be what, the MFTs probably versus the Wyatts, but they still haven't really confirmed that either. Right. So I'm a little concerned, because Survivor Series is 3 weeks away?
3
weeks.
Well, here's what I think. And it's a little opposite, right? I like the idea of this.
Yeah.
And here's why. I feel that John Cena is limited on, we're talking about this before. He's limited on how many shows he has coming up. So he can't really like commit to building a storyline. And we're wondering how they were going to throw it together. This is how you do it without him there. He makes the appearance, kicks off the tournament, then he can disappear for a little bit while everyone else is vying for that spot to face him. That doesn't mean that they can't plant a few, because he says it's at random, but we know in WWE nothing's at random.
Of course.
And so, they may have, it may be Gunther, but because he said it could be Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, and I could have swore he said or anywhere else, which means it kind of leaves the gate open.
Independent people,
yeah. So it leaves the gate open, because there are some people from AEW that their contracts are expiring. So that could be.
You think it's Jericho?
No, you know what? Okay, so and I know I'm gonna get crap for this, but I don't really care because I just like talking.
Do it.
How cool would it be? And I'm pretty sure he still has a contract with AEW, but it would be so cool if his final match was somehow you factor in or get in there MJF.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because
I don't know if they make that happen, but that would be cool.
I mean, I feel that would be an awesome one. Gunther's a good one too. I'm excited for that, but I don't know how they're going to determine the brackets, but I'm excited to see it because, like I said, this is how you build his last match without him there. You know, so
no, I think that makes sense, but I feel like they kind of wrote themselves into a corner though because they used up all of his dates, so you kind of have to do it this way, and it makes sense. But
I honestly,
like, man,
I'd rather have this than them just be like, oh yeah, he's gonna face this person.
And he's going through, and that's it. No, I agree because that's what they did with AJ Styles. And although I thought it was a brilliant match, it was like they took a big risk there by not doing any promotion for it all and just having Kevin Owens saying the fans demanded this. I'm like, the fans never demanded this, but it's fine. However you want to spin it. But yeah, but we'll see. We'll see who John Cena's final match is going to be against. That's going to be coming up, and we'll also see how Survivor Series is going to get booked out. But that's what we got for this week, short and sweet, because it was just 4 matches for Saturday Night Main Event. But we'd love to hear from all of you of what you thought. Did you enjoy the choices that were made? Are you glad CM Punk is champ again? Are you glad Jade Cargill is champ now for the first time in WWE? Leave us your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And then if you just want to talk wrestling or agree or disagree with us, we always love to hear from you too. But that's what we've got this week. I've been Michael D'Angelo. He's been Big D Daryl Ortiz. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you soon.